Welcome! Today we're going to talk about a Rolex GMT-Master reference 1675. This example is from 1973 and has a Mark IV dial. The GMT-Master is an iconic watch originally created for pilots to keep track of 2 time zones. This example is fitted with a red and blue Pepsi bezel insert. This example has a matte Mark IV dial, the characteristics of which are well documented on GMTmaster1675.com. The inside of the case back is stamped with the second quarter of 1972, and the serial number is in the 3.2 million range. This example comes from its first owner in Texas on a Jubilee bracelet made in the USA. The case proportions are really amazing, and it appears to be unpolished. The case features semi-pointed crown guards, and you can see the chamfers are well preserved. Here's a quick tutorial on how the GMT tracks a second time zone. For example, if you're on the West Coast, the time is 10:11. So if you wanted to know the time on the East Coast or in New York, which is 3 hours ahead, you adjust the indicator to 3, as I'm doing here. And therefore, when you want to read the time in New York, instead of reading the hour hand, which is at 10 o'clock, the red triangle mark hand is what you should read for the hour with respect to the second time zone. In this case, 1300 or 1:11. In addition to a thinner case, the GMT also has a tiny crown relative to a Submariner. The outer case back is plain, similar to an Explorer. I should note that I've installed aftermarket end links to help correct a gap that appears when the original end links are installed. The original end link is on the left and the aftermarket on the right. You'll note that the aftermarket includes retaining hooks on the inside, which help to fix the end link with respect to the spring bar. This helps to keep the end link close to the case, preventing that unseemly gap. Here's a closer look at the original end link. You can see that it lacks those retaining hooks that the aftermarket one does, which allows the end link to flop up and down. The aftermarket end link provides a much more flush fit. The GMT was one of the only sport models to ship from the factory with the Jubilee bracelet. This one again is a USA Jubilee, which has oval links. This bracelet's pretty well worn. It's very comfortable on the wrist and it has that characteristic rattly vibe from the 70s. Here's the clasp with a pretty well preserved coronet. The clasp is stamped on the inside with Rolex USA, and here's the adjustment end of the clasp. Even with the adjustments, the bracelet was still a little bit too long, so I removed some links. The 1675 wears a lot thinner than this Tudor Sub 94010 from 1983. The GMT's midcase is only 0.4 millimeters thinner than the Sub, though it feels much thinner on the wrist. You can also see the size difference between the double lock crown of the GMT and the triple lock crown of the Sub. You can also see the crown guards on the Sub are much more robust than the semi-pointed crown guard of the GMT. The bezel insert adds a lot of character to the GMT. Like a picture frame, changing it out can give the watch a whole new look. Here's the same watch with a black insert. Framed in black, different colors pop from the dial. Side by side, you can see the stark difference between the Pepsi and the black. For comparison, here we have 3 inserts. The leftmost one is a factory original black insert. Note the distinctive snowman-shaped 8, where the top circle on the 8 is slightly smaller than the bottom. The center insert is a service insert from Rolex. In addition to a thinner font, you'll note that the 8 doesn't look like the snowman 8, and both circles of the 8 are about the same size. And last, on the right, is an aftermarket insert, which has an extremely fat font and serifs as well. While it got the snowman 8 correct, GMT inserts generally didn't have serifed font. Here's a quick look at a spare plexiglass for the GMT. Some people have fitted this with a domed plexi, which gives it a pretty interesting look as well. And of course, this model was also made famous by the Apocalypse Now appearance, where Marlon Brando popped the bezel off, giving it a pretty distinctive look. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.